And welcome back to part 9. I don't call these chapters parts. I called the Pokemon My Academia one chapters because it was more of a story, like actual that I was writing out. But this one, most of mine are just called parts. Part 9 of What If Naruto Had a Rinnegan. So last time on Naruto What If, Naruto and the gang had just finished up their mission to the wave. The result being that Zabuza is alive, but he's now hiding out in the wave. And he's just sort of given the sword to Haku and said, Haku, go and live your life in the leaf. Maybe at some point I'll return, but go and live your life, giving Zabuza his sword. Also, the wave is now actually very financially well off because Naruto used the human path to take out Zabuza. Gato's soul and acquired the information from that. Naruto, and that's kind of really off, is that Naruto and the gang had just arrived, and it's still kind of weighing on Naruto that he did that. Not that only did he just take this guy's life, he sucked this guy's soul out of his body, took that information still rattling around in his head. I mean, he doesn't need it or want anything with it, but everything that Gato's done, that information is in his head, and he's trying to process that. And, he's just kind of allocating certain things to certain parts of his mind, all that. I think the way Naruto's mind works, the fact that Kurama's in there kind of aids with that a little bit. Not that Kurama's willingly taking all of Naruto's bad memories and just getting rid of it, but the fact that Naruto's just learning to live with this kind of thing is really telling for his character that, when they get back to the village and they get the debriefing, the wave is more than willing to pay for an A/S rank mission. It's probably an A rank mission. If they talk to Haku, Haku is instated as a Chuunin, gets a stipend, all that. He shows off he can use ice release. They're very happy to have an ice user around. So Haku, sells up. But we cut back to the aftermath where, even though they're back to doing some D rank mission, all that, Naruto's actually been relatively kind of quiet and a little bit despondent, if you will. And Hinata and Sasuke and Kakashi have both noticed Naruto's not talking a lot. He's still talking occasionally. Like, he's like, yeah, got it. Thanks. No problem. It's like, no, do you need help? It's like, right here, let me help you, all that. But he's not as bright and jovial. And Kakashi knows what this is. So one day after the missions, it's like, all right, that's enough missions for today. Why don't y'all head back to your homes or have the rest of the day off and do what you need to do. And it's like, or do what you want to do. It's like, yeah, all right. And then Kakashi says, Naruto, hang back for a minute. I would like to talk to you, to ask something, or talk to you about something. Sasuke, Hinata, why don't you guys head up? And so they do. Sasuke and Hinata are a little concerned. It's like, oh god, I hope Naruto's going to be okay. What does Kakashi Sensei want to talk to him about? And Sasuke, I think, actually has an idea, because even though Sasuke's never taken a life himself, he's been a part of a massacre where he saw his mother and father get butchered by his brother. So he's a bit more matured up than Hinata is in this matter. So, Naruto hangs back and says, what do you want to talk to me about, Kakashi Sensei? It's like, how are you holding up? I don't know. What do you mean? It's like, I've seen it before a lot. The first time you take a life is never easy, Naruto. To which Naruto does, his eyes kind of widen a little bit. It's like, it's weighing on you, isn't it? And Naruto just goes silent for a little bit, and Kakashi's trying to console him. He's like, and Naruto actually goes, it's not just that, Kakashi said. It's not just the fact that I took his life, Kakashi Sensei. I took his soul. I felt his soul. I felt everything I took from him. It's still in there. It's within my head. Even after giving them information to the villagers for their giving them the money, I've still got all that information rattling around in there. And not just that, I've got everything this guy's done, every terrible deed that he's done, and then some things I don't want to think about, and I just can't get it out of my head. And Naruto and Kakashi's like, Naruto, you have powers that many of us could only dream to have, and some of them are going to carry a serious burden. It seems this one is one that you should not use. That, as powerful as it is, you shouldn't use. Probably shouldn't be using it unless you absolutely have to. But no matter what you do, it doesn't define you. It's what you do after the fact that defines you. And Naruto's just kind of again. You remember, no one thinks any different of you. You still have your friends. You still got your team. You still got me, Hinata, Sasuke. You got the old man. You're not alone in this, kid. This and taking life is it's unfortunately part of a ninja's job. It's the day will come where every one of us is probably going to have to get blood on our hands one way or another to protect what we care about. So the question is, what are you going to do the day where it comes again, where you're going to have to take another life? Reposition myself a little bit. Sorry, you might saw that move. My thing move a little bit. And Naruto just looks at Kakashi and is like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, when the time comes, you'll know when you'll have to do it. Just remember everything all the reasons you don't think of the reason don't think of that you did. Remember the reason why you did it. And Naruto thinks on it a little bit, and he realized, he had to do it. He had to save them. And ultimately, it turned out for the best. Naruto just gets a look on his face, not like a happy-go-lucky smile, like yeah, but it was like he gets a legitimate smile and briefly lets the jutsu down for his Rinnegan. And Kakashi can see it, and it's like this is Naruto being completely honest with him. It's like, Kakashi Sensei, thank you. Thanks. It means everything to you. It means a lot to hear that from you. And Kakashi just gives him the eye, smiles like, no, it's my pleasure. I'm not just your sensei, Naruto. I am your friend. And I'm always here for you. And Naruto, heads off. Now get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day. He's like, right, I'm gonna get me some ramen. And Naruto heads out. And then the preceding missions they go on, Naruto is doing a lot better. They chill out with Haku now and then. In fact, I can actually see Haku, because Haku doesn't know anyone else in the village. Haku's spending a lot of his free time along with Naruto and their free time with each other. He maybe even joins them in on some training now and then. Naruto, and Haku and Naruto, Haku, Sasuke, get a good sparring match in. Haku's learning to use Zabuza's blade a little better. I can see them really working off each other. Naruto even asks about, hey Haku, can you show what I can't use ice, but as far as I can tell, your chakra seems to be a combination of two different wind and water. Do you know any techniques? I don't really know many water techniques, but there is the water needle jutsu. I said, oh, could you show me that one? It's like, sure, I suppose not. You did a lot for me. It's the least I could do. Shows off the water needle jutsu. Naruto practices a little bit, and I imagine he can get the water needle jutsu down. So there, I gave Naruto a new jutsu. I just thought it was time Naruto added at least one other jutsu to the arsenal. And I mean like elemental standard jutsu, not Rinnegan stuff. Now keep in mind, Naruto has access now to 4 of his Rinnegan abilities. I put the thumb out there. 4 of his Rinnegan abilities. But he really doesn't care for using the human path. And the Azura path is still very new and very odd for him to use. So it's interesting where Naruto kind of stands at the moment. But anyway, we now cut to Kakashi seeing the hawk, knowing that the Chuunin exam is coming, giving him the day off. They go. And I actually, and Sasuke and Naruto and Hinata, Sasuke kind of goes off and does his own thing for a little bit. All right, catch you later, man. It's like, so Hinata, you want to get something to eat or something? It's like, yeah. And Hinata blushes a little bit. She's a lot better, but she's still, because she's still crushing on him hard. She's still gonna blush and maybe stutter a little bit. Say, that would be nice, Naruto. And then all of a sudden, the box, because he still met Haku in this. It's like the box, and then Naruto's like, is that supposed to fool us? Sadly, I think it is. Konohamaru, you need to really work on that. And then we use too much gunpowder. Yeah. It's like, rocks aren't square, right? All right, Naruto. Hey, boss, you said you'd play ninja with us today. Oh, playing ninja? He's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I did say that, didn't I? I mean, me and Hinata were actually going to get some food. But, I mean, hey, you want to play ninja with the kids for these guys for a little while, and then we can go get some food? And I think Hinata would be a lot more, I never really got that. With Sakura's like, why were you so like a ninja playing ninja? That is so twisted. It's like these are friends of Naruto's. They're little kids. They look up to him. And they want to be ninja. Why wouldn't you do that? It's actually a really cool thing to. I would imagine like an older kid doing that for the younger kids. Like that's actually kind of a cool thing to do. Let's play with it and let you have a little fun. So I was like, yeah, Sakura, get off your fucking high horse. I've always I've always been open. I don't like Sakura very much. They did a bit better. They definitely improved her a certain degree in Shippuden because they gave her things to do and actually gave her a bit of a better character. But then they kind of crapped on that midway through. So, but anyway, yeah. And the thing about this is they're playing, and because if I remember correctly, and I never really explained what playing ninja is, I think it's essentially like a game of tag, not with a real shuriken, but like a cardboard or paper shuriken or something like that. And you basically got to tag them with the shuriken. I think that's what it is. And they're playing around. And eventually, even though you don't get the Sakura chasing Konohamaru scene, you do get Konohamaru, I think, bumping into Kankuro again. And because he's probably it or the one being chased, and he ends up bobbing. It's like Konohamaru's like, "Hey kid, that hurt. Just want to reiterate again, every time Kankuro's a dumbass for attacking a kid outside that's not in his own village where he is a guest in. Let alone the fact he's the third Hokage's grandson. Either way, he's like, that hurt. It's like, put me down. It's like, and then Naruto's like, hey, put him down now. And Hinata's like, no, Hinata's playing the peacekeeper similar to Sakura. It's like, this is getting ugly. And it's like, do something. Don't just stand there. Do something. My God, she was so useless. But Hinata's still the same in a similar boat where she wants to try to resolve this peacefully. Naruto's definitely like, but with his Rinnegan, he can see he stops briefly. He's about to charge, but he actually stops. Like, oh, you want to go? And then Naruto stops and sees the chakra strings. Like, chakra strings. He just says, chakra strings, and he can see that there is a massive chakra. It's not a lot, mind you, because there's really nothing in. There's no chakra in Crow. It's just strings mostly, but still, there's a little bit. I think that helped control Crow. He can see that there's he can see a little bit coming off there. Hinata is like, and Byakugan, and she doesn't say it out loud, but Byakugan activates, and she can see there's something in that basket, and it's like, what's the matter, kid? Scared? Aren't you gonna save your little friends? And then Naruto now just casually. He is not, to be fair, he's not going to use Basho Tenin on Konohamaru because Kankuro's got him by the scruff and he's got him tight. If he does that, he's going to pretty much choke out Konohamaru and maybe rip his scarf. Naruto's not going to do that. But what he does do, he just calmly decide to he curbs his temper just enough because Naruto's got some tricks up his sleeve in this version, and just calmly walks up to him. And he's like, oh, you want to go? And Kankuro tries to hit him with the string, not realizing he can see him. And Naruto's just got the Pretapath activated, just absorbing the chakra strings. And Kankuro's like, what? It's like, put him down now. And it's like, oh, and what are you going to do about it? And just taps Kankuro's hand, just, what? And the chakra's draining. He's not draining Kankuro completely, he's just tapping, kind of the hand goes a little numb, and just come on, gotcha, buddy, and head over to Hinata. It's like, yeah, thanks, boss. It's like, and Mari's looking at it, like, I mean, it's like, what's this about? He just Kankuro, what's wrong with your hands? Like, I don't know. The kid just touched it and it went numb. You think you're pretty tough, huh? Well, no, you think you're pretty tough. He just tries to maybe throw a punch. I was like. It's like, I think I'm tough. And then Naruto's like, no, I think I'm just tough enough. And just kind of gives him a good gut check. Like, this would be the Naruto way, just gut checking him. And just, Kankuro's just, you little. And then Sasuke shows up a little bit, is there, has the pellet, just, you mother. It's like, okay, you, get lost. It's like, you. It's like, all right, that's it. Who wants some, huh? Kankuro, knock it off. And it's like, you're a disgrace to our village. And it's like, I didn't even sense him up there. And Naruto, I don't think Hinata probably wasn't paying attention because she was focusing on Konohamaru. Naruto also wasn't paying attention, though he could sense something else was around. He just wasn't sure about it. And Naruto maybe mentally constantly, I thought I felt something else. And he feels a bit of a growl in his stomach. It's like, in him, basically. Is like, again, he hasn't communicated yet with Kurama, but the Kurama, again, because he has the Rinnegan, Kurama's father's eyes, Kurama's a bit more aware of what's going on, and he sets his Shikaku, like, oh, that hurt. My day just keeps getting worse. So, it's like, Kankuro, shut up or I'll kill you. And then Sasuke actually, lands on the ground. It's like, yeah, I apologize for my brother. It's like, yeah, whatever. Next time, tell the idiot not to start something in a village that he doesn't belong in. To which Tamari actually was like, he's got a good point, Kankuro. The kid just bumped into you, and you were going to waste him. What were you thinking? And Kankuro just, he doesn't have an answer. He was being a macho jerk, which was kind of Kankuro back in the day a little bit. And so are you? Forgive me, I'm Gaara of the desert. I'm curious about you two as well. And they say, and Sasuke Uchiha. No, and Naruto just looks at him a bit, stares at him for a little bit, and, Kankuro, see, Gaara is a bit more just, he's interested in Sasuke, but he's really interested in Naruto, because Shukaku was even, because I imagine Tailbeast can sense each other's containers a little bit, though he didn't react to Naruto in the original, but with Kurama and the Rinnegan, I think Shukaku's like, Gaara can feel Shukaku stirring just a little bit. Like, I want to kill this guy. This guy's really going to be fun to kill. I'm curious about you. And the Naruto kind of looks at him a little bit up and down. He can sense the chakra of this guy. Ooh, there's something off about this chakra. And, Naruto Uzumaki. We'll see you. And then, Hinata explains, like, so what are you doing here? It's like, it's the Chuunin exams and all that. They explain the Chuunin exams. Obviously, they meet with Kakashi afterwards. Should note the sound trio's there. It's like, the redhead is interesting, and the black-haired one isn't bad either. But it's the blonde. What's the blonde we're going to have to keep our eyes on? No, just remember, keep your eyes on the prize. It's the black-haired one, the one Orochimaru wants. Though I don't think they knew a huge amount of that plan. I think they were told to target Sasuke. That was true. So you get them preparing for the Chuunin exams. I think I've given them pretty much all the jutsus I'm going to give them. Although Hinata probably, because I remember giving her the lightning threads, might learn, like, Naruto might actually help her out a little bit and, like, teach her the lightning pale lightning technique that I gave him, and in response, she might actually help teach him the lightning tendrils as well. So there you go. There, Naruto gets one more jutsu. That one, I'll admit, that was just off the top of my head. Most of this I've already planned out, but that was already top of my head. So you then get to the day where they go into the Chuunin exams. By the way, just wardrobe-wise, I just want to remind you, Hinata's wardrobe really isn't that different. Sasuke's is, I think, I liked it. I don't like the shorts on Sasuke, if I'm going to be honest. I imagine he's wearing pants, something akin to like what he wears in Shippuden, but he's wearing like a black version with an undershirt of what he wears in Shippuden with the Uchiha crest on there. So kind of like that open white like shirt. I don't know what exactly you'd call it, but a bit more form-fitting and a bit black, and his crest on there. So that's what I like. And Naruto's outfit is just an inverse of Jiraiya's. Not even an inverse, just a color swap version of Jiraiya's, where the outer coat is black, and his normal wardrobe is like a burnt orange, and the pants might be like black or like green, like kind of like Jiraiya wears. Either way. So, and like a black belt or something like that, or gi, a gi, I believe it's called. Or your gi is this, isn't it? The belt, like that's what he's wearing. Anyway, just so I can keep that reminded of what they look like. Keep in mind too, in terms of an arsenal, Naruto has 5 basic academy level or like low level elemental jutsus of each jutsu. Wind, gale, pond, lightning, pale lightning, earth, mud wall, water torrent jutsu, and fireball jutsu. Plus, he's now learned the water needle jutsu, and he's learned the lightning thread jutsu. He has 4 Rinnegan abilities, 2 of which he's not very comfortable using, plus his chakra rod. So he's got a pretty hefty arsenal right now. Hinata comes in with a gentle fist, which is, I'm sure she has improved greatly being around Naruto. She also has the lightning, pale lightning technique and the lightning threads. And Sasuke's I should know, Shadow Clone Shuriken Jutsu for Naruto as well. Gotta keep that in mind. But that was just something I wanted to throw in there so he would have it. Will I use it again? Probably. And Sasuke is mostly fire style, fireball jutsu, dragon fire jutsu, phoenix flower jutsu, his Sharingan, And honestly, I could see Naruto or Hinata showing him a jutsu, seeing if basically him copying a jutsu and seeing if he can learn it. I imagine he would have copied all of Naruto's jutsu just because Naruto is his friend. He would have showed him. Finds it's hard. He has difficulty with all but the pale lightning technique because that is his actual element. So Naruto, he picked up the pale lightning and lightning threads as well. So they all know lightning threads. So in theory, and pale lightning. So in theory, they can make some shadow clones, trap somebody in lightning threads, and just boo boo shoot them dead. But either way, they go to the classroom that is supposedly where the exams held. But they all basically see through the Genju because they all have dojutsu that can do that. I'm pretty sure that the Byakugan can see through it, just not on the same level as Sharingan and Rinnegan can. But they see through it, and they basically just don't. They don't say anything. And they're because they're wondering, like, wait, it's again because Sasuke might have tried to point out like he did initially, but I think Hinata actually would have been the one that was like, no, wait, we shouldn't. I think this is a test to weed out everyone else. It's like, yeah, good point. All right, let's go. And they pass by Neji and Rock Lee, and Neji, looks on as and Hinata kind of freezes up a bit. Lady Hinata, Neji, and it's like, Naruto has heard a bit about Neji. He's never met Neji, but he's heard a bit about Neji. For now, as has Sasuke, and they both kind of look at him, and it's like, and who are you? These your teammates, Hinata? Yes, these are my friends Naruto and Sasuke. It's like, so the Uchiha and the Uzumaki I hear about so much. I'm told you were near the top of your class, and you were near the top as well. Still, it matters not. Fate will determine whether or not you can succeed. And trust me, only one among us four who will become Chuunin is me. And it's like that is not fair, Neji. And anyone with hard work can become a ninja, a great ninja. I'm sure if they try hard, they too will become Chuunin. And Neji is just it's like, believe in what delusions you want. I apologize for my friend, for my teammate. He is very opinionated. It's like, yeah, so I've heard. Anyway, and they walk off, and I was like, hey, thanks anyway. Nice meeting you. And then all of a sudden, Lee shows up, and it's like, oh wait, you're Lee, right? And it's like, yes, it is I, Rock Lee. And it's like, before you go, I wish to challenge you. You, as Neji said, you were the best in your class. You two were the best in your class. I wish to test myself against you to prove that hard work can overcome a true genius. And Naruto and Sasuke's like, okay, look, we may, or Sasuke at least. It's like, yeah, look, I may have a genjutsu, and I may be called a genius, but it still took work. I mean, I'm not, and Sasuke, I imagine Sasuke, even though he'd be interested in a fight, does want to correct Lee. It's like, this did take hard work, I not everything was given to me. Either way, I still wish to challenge you. It's like, oh, and as he wish to challenge me too, perhaps at another point. Well, you were, from what Neji says, you were runner-up to Sasuke. Is Sasuke. Well, I'm sure you are powerful. Sasuke is the Uchiha is the one I wish to challenge right now. And Naruto's like, but he kind of is like, fine. He's like, whatever. Because he ultimately knows. Sasuke and him have gone toe-to-toe many times at this point where he knows that more times out of 100, he's going to beat Sasuke over Sasuke beating him. That's to say Sasuke can't beat him in a fight. Like, I still think Sasuke is the better straight-up fighter than Naruto, and his Sharingan one is not the same as the Rinnegan. The Rinnegan gives Naruto many abilities, but the Sharingan is better for predicting and can copy techniques besides Rinnegan techniques, obviously. Although, to be fair, we know for a fact Sharingan can't copy Rinnegan techniques. Those are basically exclusive to the Rinnegan, which would be technically a Kekkei Genkai. Of a unique sort. It's like, it's beyond a Kekkei Genkai, because it's not just bloodline, it's other things entirely. But Hinata also kind of like grabs onto Naruto's, hand and just like, please Naruto, we shouldn't fight. We will be late. And it's Sasuke, please. Like, and Naruto is able to calm down. Only reason that he's still holding on to Hinata's hands. And he's like, and they both kind of blush a little bit. I'm sorry. Is it? No, it's fine, it's fine. And Sasuke, oh, you two get a room already. And they both was like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, that's not like that. Like, look, we got a little bit of time. Why don't we have a bit of a spar, have a match? We'll use only taijutsu, which I'll also reiterate is hypocritical, because Lee's like, okay, I want to prove I can beat you in a fight fair and square. So limit yourself to the one thing I've mastered and you're probably only decent at, so I will be able to prove I'm better at you, even though you can't use your full abilities. Like, Lee, that doesn't prove... Just because you beat him does not prove jack shit, actually. Just proves that, you can only beat him in a certain limited circumstance. Anyway. So their fight begins. And because Sasuke has had a Sharingan for a while now, he is... it's not like before where Sasuke says, I've been wanting to try this out. And he's like, I can see it, but I can't predict it. He's like, you can't keep up with it. He's been practicing with Naruto for a while, and he's been training with Haku, who is a speed feat himself. Not quite as fast as Lee, I would imagine. I do imagine Lee is faster than Haku, but Haku still had immense speed. So Sasuke not only is able to, comprehend the movements, he's able to keep up better with Lee, and Lee is noticing this. At first, he's able to overwhelm Sasuke a little bit. Just, you cannot keep up with me. But just as he throws another punch, Sasuke actually grabs it and flips. He's like, wait, how is that? You're not the first speed freak that I've fought before, and I've had my Sharingan for a while. So I've been training with them actually to be able to keep up with speeds like yours. You're a bit faster than Haku though, so I'll give you that. So you're still not making this easy. And they're both going at it again, except Sasuke is doing a lot better. Plus he has to deal with the unpredictability of Naruto and the taijutsu style of Hinata on a regular basis. So he's actually going pretty even with Lee. Lee only having a slight advantage being the more experienced taijutsu user. It's like, very well, as he suddenly gets behind Sasuke after getting a boom front kick. He's about to use it, and then Guy comes in. Lee, what the hell were you thinking? I did it because I care, Lee. My guy said Lee. I said, huh? I was like, oh, yes. So you're Kakashi's team. You might say I'm his eternal rival. Yeah, no, Guy, you're the only one who's been saying that for years. You basically wore Kakashi down to say it eventually. Say, you're my eternal rival. Because of reasons. Anyway. And basically, Kakashi Sensei meets them in front of the door that leads them to the big assembly. And they go in. And that is where part 9 ends. We'll be heading off with the written exams and the meetings with all the other teams after a while. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, Orochimaru is coming. And as someone said, gonna be an interesting little meet and greet when Orochimaru shows up. Because and possibly sees that there might be a Rinnegan there. It's like, Rinnegan. It's just like, But until then, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, wants to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, Superior Magic, what if, anything you do on the channel. Put that in the comments below. Let me know. I'll get to that at some point. So thanks for watching. I'll see you folks later. I got one more video. I got the Pokemon video to do. So see you later, folks.